Speaking of games we're getting ready for, what is your take on the 2023 edition of the third Saturday in October?
I think it's going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to it. To me, though, Tennessee's offense is going to have to play better if they want to beat Alabama because the Crimson Tide's defense is better than it was last year, in my opinion. And I think that's what's kept them afloat from still being in the college football playoff race. Because if their defense was playing the way that it was last season, this year, they could have lost the A&M game or the Arkansas game. But they won partially because of the defense. I know they gave up some against Arkansas late, but they still won. So, and then you talk about Tennessee. Joe Milton is not putting up nowhere near the stats that Hendon Hooker was last year, or even what Joe Milton produced when he came in last season. I mean, he only threw for like 160 yards against A&M last week. And yeah, Tennessee won, but I think more of that was because of their defense and their home crowd, and the fact that Max Johnson is turning the ball over too much for Texas A&M. And I think that the defense for Alabama is going to be what helps them win the game. If they can force Joe Milton into mistakes like Florida did in the swamp, because Joe Milton at Florida made a lot of mistakes. And Bryant Denny is just as tough of a place to play as the swamp. So I think that's what's going to end up happening. Milroe's not perfect. I know a lot of people still don't believe in him, and I think that he's a great deep ball thrower and he can run, but he struggles to throw intermediate, sometimes underneath. He does struggle in that department, but he's good enough in enough areas, and the Alabama defense is better than it was last year, and the run game for Alabama has been a bit better this season than it was last year. And it's at home. I think Alabama's going to get revenge on Tennessee and beat them by about 7. I think I said like 31-24, something like that. So Tennessee just doesn't have enough offense. If they have more offense, then they could win.